Welcome back to the channel, Rad Truck Works. My name is Brian, and today we're going to go over install of an AL3 Pro on a 2018 Chevy Silverado. We just cut the straps on the box. Once again, I want to show how well this is actually packaged. We received it via FedEx from Worksport. Packaged well, protected. We just cut it open. We got the instructions. So we're going to go through it right now. Just kind of see what all the materials that we have. We wanted to do an older body style, not a current body style Silverado, as these trucks are now becoming more affordable. They're popping up on the market. Might be a first vehicle, that 15 to 19 Silverado, but just in general, trucks are crazy expensive. So let's show you how to put an affordable cover on an affordable truck.
Oh yeah!
All right, big selling point of the Worksport AL3 Pro is the amount of actual pieces in the box. Front seal, 2 front mounting clamps, and then 2 rear mounting clamps. So very, very simple. We'll start by putting this weather seal up front. Here at Rad Truck Works, we're intimately familiar with bed liners. We do them every day. So to get foam to stick to your bed liner, it is ideal. We like to use methanol, acetone, something that's going to clean the ridges and the pores of this liner so this will actually stick. Worksport does use a superior adhesive to some of the other companies out there. That will stick really, really well in comparison to some other hard trifolds. We just did one this morning, but still you're going to want to clean it. Some sort of acetone, but we like to use methanol. Methanol's a little bit cheaper, but we buy it in bulk. All right, we got our cleaning rag. So when installing bed covers, you want to be aware of this front bed rail cap. So there's a big misconception with water and caps, water on covers coming in, but water actually will get underneath this bed rail cap. What we like to do is put a little strip caulk, stick them, they call it lots of different things, just to try to seal this front bed rail cap to keep water from getting in, going in, and then coming out actually into your bed. We do it a lot on fiberglass caps, ARE and Lear, but it's just a little extra protection that we like to give our customers. Last Maverick, I'm just looking at the instructions. In our last Maverick video, we didn't actually go through the specific measuring instructions. We just kind of winged it. But here they're wanting 11 inches back. Yeah, so we're 11 inches from this bed rail cap back is where we'll put a mark. And then that's where we'll mount these. So I'm gonna go get a tape real quick. I just like to use masking tape on the rails. Just gives me a guide point. Worksport includes the Allen that you need, which we did not use last time, but I highly suggest using the tools that they gave you. And now you can see why they wanted it at 11 inches. Chevy has this big rear post where you can't get a clamp. This is about, yeah, this is the furthest back you can get a clamp is right here. So that is why Worksport gave you those instructions. And trying not to take these clamps completely off, but I might have to. There we go. Yeah, if you do have the ability to move these clamps, we do suggest putting them as high as they can go before tightening them down. And like we said, this might need final adjustment when we get the cover on, but we're hoping that that 11 inches is going to be pretty accurate. Yeah, power tools just really aren't necessary for the install of this cover. Did it last time and thought that was a bit overkill. If you do look on these clamps, what I'm trying to do is, there's teeth. Teeth need to be pointed up so it grabs into the backside of that bed rail. So that's where I was just trying to hold them to make sure that they go where they're supposed to go. All right, now we're almost ready to put the cover on this truck. And I'm not He-Man tightening these, just getting them tight, but I'm not torquing them until I can't torque it anymore. You might want to get a friend to do this. All right, or at least clear your tailgate. All right. Okay, we've set our cover. We always like shutting the tailgate, trying to line it up on these bed rails. Another easy way to tell if it's square, open the tailgate and kind of look down. You can see that that gap is pretty much consistent all the way across. Sitting. We'll have some adjustments to do on this clamp. Yeah, we'll end up pulling that down. I'm gonna go ahead, grab my clamps, and crawl in. After I make one final adjustment, it's about a 1/4 inch off. I'll check my square again with the tailgate. It's looking pretty good. Worksport's clamps, they actually go into the cover, slide, and then you tighten it down. All right, so I'll slide in here. Worksport has the center access hole, so that's where your clamps will slide in from the middle. Hook under the rail, the tail's in the slot on the rail, and then we just tighten it down. Once again, not overly torqued, but make sure it is tight. So these clamps were sent in the all the way up position in order to get this to seat. You know, it can go all the way down to there. I'm gonna leave them a little loose. Well, I am gonna leave them loose right now until I shut this. Then I can push them where I want them, kind of hold the cover, and then go ahead and tighten. Yeah, a wrench probably be better if you were gonna look to do that. I'm gonna go ahead and get a Phillips screwdriver real quick so I can adjust that latch. My tailgate magically shut. These small little things in life. So sorry for that little bit. I'll show you this, Sam, real quick. This is part of the adjustment process. You see where that clamp doesn't quite catch that?
It's too far inboard.
Correct. So it is just a simple adjustment with Phillips. We'll loosen these two. We'll just kind of slide it out. Typically we do this in the bed, but for visualization purposes. But now, yep, and now I can go actually adjust that to make it tighter now that I can see. I'm gonna drop those 10s. Yep, and this one has the same issue. Phillips, Phillips, slide.
Super easy adjustment.
Yep. Tighten it down. So I'm gonna go get a 10 wrench just because I think that's gonna be, see this side's nice and tight, but this side needs
A little adjustment.
to be adjusted. Oh, I have it. We'll just go bring it down. Nice and tight. So that is what you're looking for. This cover, like we've talked in the past, all the seals are hidden. They're underneath. We can open and shut the tailgate without opening the cover. What we do like, this is all one piece of aluminum that has been bent in America by Worksport, so made in America. Obviously, it's a big thing. We like their latches. We like their pole hardware. Everything is quality. They've got, if you zoom in on these seals, the 4 seals helps with the water retention. The foam absorption pads for when you flip it over. Everything about this cover is great. It's good to see it on a full-size truck versus our Maverick that we have. Clamps, these buckles, nice, solid. Super easy operation. Nice. And that's a wrap on the Worksport AL3 Pro. On an 18 Silverado 1500. We'll call Lee in here because some of the comments in the past have been they want Lee to pick it apart. But that's not bad like it was on our Maverick. No one's getting in this cover like this, but you can see seals are solid all the way down. I'll get in the bed, see if I can see any light protruding through. We've got this front seal. We still haven't done the strip caulk like we talked about, but we'll do that before we send this truck away. Yep, this one's ready to rock. 3M strip caulk, usually comes in 12-inch. I just grabbed 2 half pieces. Super pliable, sticky. We just like to stick it in the corners. Probably only need half of that. Just trying to keep that water out of this front corner of the bed rail caps. All right, is it Lee's turn?
I think so.
Let me get in here.
What you doing? What are you doing while you're in the bed?
What I'm doing is I'm just looking for any daylight that I see. Because if I see daylight, water is definitely going to want to follow any daylight. But what we do see are these beds are not waterproof on their own. You have that stake pocket up top. I have a ton of light coming in from this stake pocket up here in these corners. So just because you put water protection on top doesn't mean that water's not getting into the bed other ways other than, falling into the bed. One comment said, how does water get in around the tailgate? You've got all of these gaps where water just inherently will go. We hope that this corner is going to do exactly what it is, but I usually tell my customers that water might be right here. Like this 9-inch by 9-inch, that is a good possibility. As you're driving, water actually swirls and comes through the bottom of the tailgate. So this Chevy's a little bit better. It's not like other manufacturers, but that's actually a pretty tight gap, especially with the aftermarket bed liner. Rams in specific was the question. There's a bigger gap here, and as you're driving, it kind of creates swirling vortex, and it kind of comes up. So that's why they do make tailgate seals that you see on the market, which is a foam strip all the way around to try to help mitigate that water. But yeah, just inherently in how beds are designed, they are not waterproof. You can buy aftermarket caps for your tie-down holes, but then you're gonna lose your handhold when you wanna get into your bed. So there's usually some give takes. Nothing is 100% watertight, but that is a great start. All right, Lee, here's the AL3 Pro on a 6.5-foot Silverado. Walk through it like you would normally walk through it.
I mean, again, like what we saw in the Maverick before, I do like the fit and the finish. It looks professional. Look good in your driveway or look good on a work site. It is low profile. It really doesn't stand up very much or very high or anything like that. Yeah. You got the pulls underneath, which are nice. These come down a little further. They're easier to grab, and I like the rubber handle as opposed to just the plain wire. I think that actually, it's the little things that make a difference that way, which is kind of nice. Folds up real easy, and I mean, that's pretty straightforward, just what you'd expect, how I'd expect to work for you. It's definitely not going anywhere with it locked in that way. And
They're big panels, they're true.
they are, it's a true trifold.
On a 6.5-foot bed.
Yep, I mean, it just closed right down real nice like that. And my thing I like to look for. All right, so this,
Still not getting in.
you're not getting in. If someone really wanted to be, I mean, they're gonna damage your truck before they're gonna do something else. So this is nice because you don't have to worry about that. It certainly looks like you can't fuss with it. That's actually something I think that's unique about this cover versus the ones that do have the weather stripping along the edge. If you walk up to it, it doesn't look like there's an easy place to start trying to pull up or do something to it. But I like the finish. This will respond really well to a good UV protectant, which is really nice, and that's easy cheesy to put on. Yeah, I mean, I like the cover. I do think it's a nice cover. I think it's going to hold up well for, yeah, under $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to complain about that. I mean, because they're getting just more and more expensive. But I do like it. The panels are a little bit lighter too than some of the other brands that we sell, which for some folks, that's nice. So, cool. Yeah.
Speaking of UV care, we are testing some private label UV care for covers. So I'll show you what the first treatment would look like on this Worksport that we just installed. Super simple. Spray it onto the rag. Wipe it down. Maybe you guys can vote on what scent you would like. Kind of leaning towards something very mild, not hit you in the face. Because this is cherry vanilla, but they can be used interior or exterior. Yeah. I do not. That is something that I would want to look up. Just by putting my hand on it like this, I wouldn't say that it's a ton of weight, but being that it's just a one-piece panel that's aluminum, is probably more than I think, but did you already put the 3-step away? All right. I need to go get some of my new guys that are like 6'6", and they can do this freaking sleep.
Thank God it's not super lifted.
Right? I still don't feel like I'm short, but certain things make you feel short.
You can see a clear difference of where you wiped it and where you haven't wiped it.
Yeah, I don't really want to trust his step bar. So now this cover is treated. This should be good for a couple weeks. Like we said, we don't really care when you UV treat your covers, just as long as you are treating them, whether you're the guy that washes it every week, every other week, once a month. Just give it some sort of protection. Keeps the rubber clean, pliable. But that truck is ready to go. Thank you guys for coming. Please remember, like, share, and subscribe. Rad Truck Works. Stay tuned for the next video.
Worksport. I just sound like a fanboy every time.
Well, you are kind of a
I'm
fanboy.
totally a fanboy. I'm excited for the AL4. That's about it.
Yeah. What about their new solar cover that's not released yet? They're teasing us on their website.
I just want to put my hands on it, and feel free to send us one for free for an F-150 Worksport. Dylan, I know you're watching. We'd love to be in the test market for it for beta.
Hint, hint, hint.
Right, wink, wink.